Hello and welcome. This is a Call of the Wild series, Chanting AUM. So before we get into the mantra AUM, I want to talk about what it means to be wild. Why did I call this Call of the Wild? So I have this really great teacher who lives in London, Ontario. His name is Chanting. And whenever we would go visit him, he would continually remind us that to be wild is to be resilient. That which is wild, whether it's wild flowers, wild trees, wild plants, wild animals, wildness within us, the essence of wildness is resilience. The ability to bounce back, the ability to persevere, and the ability to call into being. These are all aspects of what it means to be wild. So being wild in a modern world is actually a really radical thing to be. All yogic practices in this modern world and throughout the ages actually have been seen, perceived as radical. But as our modern lives becomes more and more automated, more and more digitalized, I think most of us are feeling this deep yearning to feel again, this deep yearning to be in rhythm with the earth, the cycles of the earth, and the cycles that occur within our own bodies. So that's a really courageous and daring and healing calling that I think is really important for us to heed to. So to be wild means to embrace darkness with the same love and understanding that we embrace the light. And being able to see the order, the divine order, even in the things that are seemingly chaotic, like wildness, wild plants, let's say. So I hope that this series brings you back in touch with your roots in some way, your own primordial nature, what it means to be a human being living on planet Earth. So in this first video of the series, we'll be looking at the mantra AUM. So this mantra is usually written out with the letters OM. And it's often pronounced in that way as well, Om. Now this is sort of a weathered version of the mantra. Om is actually comprised of 3 separate syllables. A, O, and with the lips closed. So if you were to write that out, it would actually be written AUM. So when we chant we open our mouths wide and we allow our jaw to drop, and we allow the sound to come from the deepest part of our belly. And when we make that sound, it actually vibrates in the belly, in the lower abdomen, which is your center of creation. Oh, oh. In order to make that sound, we bring the lips into a circle. Oh. And that sound vibrates in the region of the heart. And this is your center of preservation. Anything that's powered by love is able to make it through, to persevere the many ebbs and flows, creations and destructions of life. And finally, So to make that sound, we close the lips gently. We allow the teeth to stay separate. And so this sound vibrates in the throat and in the mouth. You may even feel the teeth sort of chatter together from the vibrations. The throat and the mouth represent your center of destruction. So these three sounds, ah, o, and are the only three sounds we can make with our mouths without the use of our tongue. And so they are the three most primordial sounds. Chanting AUM is a call to the primal, wild, and sacred place within us. That wild aspect of us that embraces creation, preservation, and destruction, and yearns to see the underlying oneness in all parts of life, in all cycles, in all phases, in all the ebbs and all the flows. So, let's begin. First, we'll chant these three syllables of AUM separately. I'm going to invite you to place open palms on the area that we are focusing on, the area that we are vibrating from, so that you can actually feel that movement, that vibration. So beginning with ah, we'll chant this 9 times together. Take a deep breath in. Now chanting O. To chant O, make a circle with the lips and place open palms across your chest. Keep the chest broad. Take a deep breath in. And so the lips will stay closed here, gently pressed together, the teeth slightly separated. And I'm creating this video during the winter as we're transitioning from autumn into winter. And so this is the time in the cycle of Mother Earth that represents destruction, the dying and the letting go of life. So let's place our open palms around our neck and allow our fingers to come upwards towards our face and around the back of our neck, so that you can feel the vibrations reverberating in the throat and the mouth. Take a deep breath in. Now we'll be melting these three sounds into one another to create the very sacred sound AUM. So do your best as we chant this ancient mantra together to allow those three separate syllables to meld into one another, so that neither of them, or none of them I should say, are given more emphasis than the others. So I'm going to chant the mantra just once to give you an example of what it sounds like, and then we'll chant the mantra 21 times together, inhaling through the nose and chanting throughout the entire exhalation. I'll invite you to close the eyes and seek to feel the movement of the mantra as it vibrates throughout the body. So here's how it will sound all together, with my voice anyway. It will sound different in yours. So, find a comfortable seat. If you're sitting on the earth, you can cross your legs. Sit up tall, and with eyes closed, align the crown of your head just over the tip of your tailbone. You'll find as you chant the mantra that the energy from the mantra and the vibrations moves up from the base of your spine towards the crown of your head. Allow your palms to rest easy on your lap, face upwards. Feel free to bring the index fingers and the thumbs together as you extend the other 3 fingers in Chin Mudra. Take a deep breath in through the nose and a deep breath out through the nose. Truly sitting down into your seat, getting grounded and allowing your spine to levitate and lift skywards. So let's begin our call of the wild. Om. Inhaling. just sitting still and quietly for a moment. Noticing any movements or shifts within you or around you. And take a deep breath in through the nose and let it go through the mouth. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart and gently bowing the head towards the heart. Sealing this practice of AUM together in gratitude. Honoring the sacred movements of the earth. Honoring with equanimity the energies of creation, preservation, and destruction, and the way they come to life through us, through Mother Earth, through all living beings, and through this practice. Giving thanks to all of our teachers, our gurus, those beings in those situations who remove the darkness so that we may see ourselves and our situations with more clarity. And may I thank you so much for joining me. So this isn't the end of the practice of chanting AUM. This is a call of the wild. And so if you're feeling a yearning to reconnect with the wildness within you, to connect to that wild spirit that is you, I encourage you to try this practice at least for one full moon cycle. So either from a full moon to a new moon, or from a new moon to a full moon, half to half, wherever you might be in the cycle. Try it for one complete cycle every morning or every evening before bed. And just notice how your awareness starts to shift within you as you dive into this very ancient practice, yogic practice. You can even imagine yourself as you chant AUM, imagine yourself like a wolf howling to the moon, howling to its great mother. Again, thank you so much for joining me. This is video 1 of the series, Call of the Wild. So I'll see you next time, but until then, reclaim your wildness, step into your truth, and do not be afraid to be radical. Namaste.